Today is March 8th. Yesterday, the Red Sox were supposed to go to Tampa to play the Yankees in a spring training game. It didn't happen, so we're going to talk about prospects that we were excited about. Let's talk some Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steam and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello, and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. BBD in the corner. BBD, when are you getting? Have you gotten your haircut yet?
Gotta be Wednesday.
Gotta be a Wednesday haircut guy?
Yeah, my guy is only at the place near my apartment on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay. Jake got his haircut today. I got my haircut Sunday. Kyle got his haircut today. Luke got his haircut today. Joe's is getting his haircut Wednesday. Arizona trip looming. Everyone getting groomed up. Jake?
I didn't time my last haircut well. It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then my next one's in 2 weeks. Made the appointment.
Yeah.
I think your whole outfit and your whole vibe today is great. I think you look phenomenal.
James Davis, everyone tuning in. Yeah, I've got my Yankees Italian pitching coach, Matt Jake, going on today. Got the chain hanging out, wearing my Yankees pullover, ready to settle a pitcher down, tell him to execute his pitches. Yeah, haircut week because we're doing a big company trip to Arizona. Excited for that. And we're talking about some fun stuff today, going down memory lane with some prospects. And I know we told you we're going to be dialing back a little bit, and we still might be. We'll see if we get any baseball news today. If we do, it's probably going to be bad news. But we've got a fun interview dropping for you guys Thursday, so that should be a lot of fun. And then, yeah, follow everything we're doing. We're going to be out in Arizona having a ton of fun. Not a spring training trip. Reminder, sure ain't.
Absolutely not.
It's in Arizona where they've hosted spring trainings, but that's not what we're doing out there. So, yeah, excited for that. Excited to yuck with you guys. How are you doing, Jim? Did your last couple haircuts not line up well?
What does that mean?
Well, BBD the 2 weeks.
I got my haircut like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and my next one, I made the next appointment, but that's in 2 or 3 weeks.
You make appointments?
Yeah, because I like to make sure I get my guy, and I have like kind of a specific window because it's like Wednesdays I can come in a little later, so I want to make sure I get like that 9 o'clock slot.
We had some college roommates that are disciplined. Some people are very disciplined with their haircuts. I'm not, so I don't know. I get a haircut, and then a month after I think I should get a haircut, I get the next haircut, and then I just go, and whoever cuts it, and I just sit there and hope it comes out okay.
You have like a frumpy hair week. You're like, I can't believe my hair got this long.
Yeah, it's
and
like
then you
2
get a
weeks.
haircut.
Yeah, I don't have a strict timeline, but I make sure I get the appointment with my
I think
guy.
there's a week of internal thoughts, and then it becomes audible.
Well, now that we film the Weekly Dumb and I don't wear a hat,
Yeah.
that's actually like escalated
Yeah.
my get a haircut mode because I try to style it or whatever for
Right.
Weekly Dumb.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So moved to the city in December. I have a new guy. We've done 2 or 3 haircuts together now, and I remember what his first name is, and it's Arson, and that always makes me laugh because that's a crime.
That is a crime.
Shout out
Arson Wells.
Don't think it's his last name.
I think that's all right.
Speaking of Wells,
Ooh, a deep dive on Austin Wells.
maybe someone called in about Austin Wells. I don't know. You like prospects, Jake?
Man, I think all the regular listeners know kind of our stance on prospects. I do. I mean, I like the hope side of it, and they can be franchise-turning players. I think on the other side of it, there's a 90% fail rate usually on your top 10 prospects. So, yeah, man, it's It's a mystery game and also the lifeblood of the sport, which is crazy. And yeah, I've been following our guy Brian Hoke. I shouted him out last time. He took a bunch of pictures of Volpe. And I don't know if BBD knew this, but Baseball America just came out with their new 2022 top prospect rankings. And so we've got some updated prospect stuff. Luis Gil up to number 4 for Yankees top prospects. So
Really? Because he pitched in the major leagues and was good?
I could see that
usually
factoring in.
That would help.
Usually that bumps you up.
I could see that factoring once they see you do really good at a level. That's how it works.
It is how it works, and I'm
Literally,
not trying
yeah.
to take away from the fact that that's how it works, but it does crack me up that they're like, oh, he gets boosted.
He still counts as a prospect?
Well, he's higher now.
He did good, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's both so complicated and so simple.
And I've got more good news for you. Know who's number 6?
Who?
Your guy Hayden Wesneski. Wesnewski.
Who's that?
I think he was one of the lefties that was doing good last year. I think it was him and Waldachuk.
Hayden Wesnewski.
I think Waldachuk has the middle name you like.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike.
Throws right. He throws right. So sorry, Hayden.
Where's the chat, dude? I don't have the chat
Get
up.
the chat open. We got some calls, right?
Got calls.
About our favorite prospies ever. What are the calls?
First prospect that like you kind of like, right? We're like high
not
on.
first, but like just a guy you believed in.
The one you drank the Kool-Aid on.
Now is this gonna? Well, is that it? Because like you could have believed in Judge, like
You
some people
could
could be
have,
like, or is it mostly prospects you loved that didn't pan out?
Like in the tweet, we said it could have been a guy that did work out, but I think almost all the ones I took are guys that sort of didn't.
If someone's
you
calling in
believed.
to take a victory lap on Aaron Judge, I'm happy for them. That we've now seen him for 4 years, and they were like, you know what?
There were
I need to let it
there were a
out.
lot of people tweeting about
Yeah.
Judge being.
I wasn't in. Like, he's too tall.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of baseball. 6'7".
Well, in 2016, he
Exactly.
was too tall.
6'7" ain't work on a baseball field for hitters.
It doesn't work. I don't know how he did it.
He's the biggest ever. He plays blitzball. He just has to put the barrel of the bat on the ball.
Yes, he does. He
And it
just
works.
Plays pepper. He kind of does.
He takes a big swing by the end of it. It's just...
But he
the way
aims
he moves.
oppo. Like he says he's always trying to shoot right field.
Shoot the gap.
Shoot the gap 7 is a number. And we all agree?
130 innings for Hayden Wesneski last year, 3.25 ERA across 3 levels. So
Hayden Wesneski. Let's take a call. Brought to you by?
you think we should get hard for this?
Yeah. Are
Should
you
we
ready?
be hard on the prospects?
It's way out of my reach. Is it? Can you reach it?
What do you think?
BBD, we both. Oh, Jake's got it.
It's just you got to lean a little bit. But Roman, sometimes you got to fliggle it down there. F-L-I-G-G-L-E.
What did you say?
Fliggle.
Excuse me, sir. What did you just say?
If your downstairs isn't working. So, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
GetRoman.com/Yanks. People know by this time. You can call in. They'll get you in touch with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional. Get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. What I like to compare it to is if you're a prospect and you get the call.
Yes.
Do you want to go 1 for 1 with a home run? Or do you want to go 0 for 1 with a strikeout?
1 for 1 with a home run, just like Aaron Judge.
Just like Aaron Judge, just like Tyler Austin. You, at home, if you're going for the home run and you've been striking out, go to GetRoman.com/Yanks. Speak to a U.S. licensed healthcare professional about erectile dysfunction. Get $15 off your first month of treatment. Be Roman ready. If you get the call, be Roman ready. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Roman ready to play you this voicemail.
Ooh, hard.
Hey, this is Tom from Kingston. My friends call me Patty. You can call me later. Growing up, the Yankees have always had a much better offense than pitching. So I've always been hyped up anytime a big prospect pitcher comes through. And this has happened twice where we had three. We had the Killer Bees with Brackman, Betances, and Banuelos. Obviously, Betances worked out. Then we also had Joba, Hughes, and Kennedy. And none of them really worked out for us. So both times I got really excited thinking like, hey, one of these guys might be the answer as far as rotation goes. And we did have Betances lock down that setup role. But aside from that, just big letdowns. So thanks. Go Yanks.
The Killer Bees had a nickname, and that's always important.
Yeah.
We actually saw Betances pitch in New Britain Rockcats.
Ooh.
We went to a game in college, and we saw it was like a double header, and we saw him start back in, I don't know what that was, 2010 or something like that.
Yeah.
Kid on the football team was there doing the PA system.
Yeah.
Our roommate Pete ate peanuts. He doesn't deshell them. He just eats the whole peanut.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I saw a human do that.
Pete's a treasure. We'll get him on the show. You won't know.
I tried it. I had good joke for only me. I tried it, and
Pete doesn't like to talk.
yeah, I tried it, and it's very salty and dry. He was like, "You can do it," and I did it, and I was like, "Yeah, but it's better if you just take the shell off."
I mean, they sell. I guess what your argument should have been is they sell the peanuts individually. They don't sell the shells by themselves.
Yeah.
That'd
be wild. Empty peanut shells. Someone sells that somewhere. Joba's an interesting one because the Killer Bees, yeah, but I wasn't too excited because, dude, anyone our age, before Twitter and social media, you had some blogs that you could check out for minor league stuff. But for me, it was if they got talked about on Mike and the Mad Dog. And I distinctly remember Mad Dog, who's this Java kid?
Yeah.
He likes coffee? Like they were doing a bunch of Java. No, it's not Java, it's Java. Well, what kind of name is that anyway?
Classic Java jokes.
Yeah. Because that's how I heard about Lincecum, because Mad Dog was all about him. Like, they got this kid in Fresno. And that's how I knew about Joba. And then they called him up, and he was absolutely electric. So I remember Joba. The Killer Bees, like Brackman, that name doesn't even ring a bell. If before this phone call you were to ask me to name the third Killer Bee, I would have not been able to do it.
Yeah, correct. Andrew Warren Brackman. And that's where I let out a little fliggle at the end of the voicemail. Because the Killer Bees are the perfect example. Dylan Betances goes on to have a great major league career. As Yankee fans, we all know the ups and downs that Dylan sometime offered during his 5-year All-Star streak. Dylan Betances panned out. A lot of guys would kill to have that major league career. Banuelos, I remember he was still fighting the fight. He came back in 2019.
Isn't he on the Yankees right now? Didn't they just sign him?
I think so. And then, but he was in the league in 2019. And then Brackman, he made three appearances for the Yankees. 2.1, never gave up an earned run. So, in a way,
panned out.
Phil Hughes, Joba, and Ian Kennedy, I hate to break it to you guys, but that's prospects panning out. Those guys pitched a lot of Major League Baseball. I know the Joba side of it has the sadder turn. Phil Hughes pitched a ton of Major League Baseball. Ian Kennedy's still twirling it.
Well, yeah, that's why people get... Joba pitched for 9 years.
Yeah.
10 different seasons. Like, those are well
those
above
are
average careers.
Yes.
For major leaguers. Those guys panned out. They weren't Yankee studs. They weren't the core four, but we kind of have a jarring expectations because of the core four. And just because everyone compares everyone to Major League or Hall of Famers and All-Stars. But those three guys had above average. Good.
I mean,
what was Joba's final line? I mean, he finished with a 3.81 ERA.
Yeah, it's really not bad.
With 555 innings pitched.
Yeah.
an ERA plus of 114. Joba had a good career.
Really good career.
They get remembered, so memories are tough and expectations are tough. Because that's silly. And like you said, Kennedy's still twirling the damn thing.
He's been a good reliever for a while now.
What was the Mets generation K? DeGrom, Harvey, Syndergaard, Neese? I think that might have been it. Matt's got called up with that. I mean, it moves quick. It's a brutal sport to have a long, sustained career. It is, I think, as Yankee fans, and that's where I was excited the call took that twist, where he was like, the Yankees have always great hitting, so I get excited for the pitchers. Yeah. And that's funny. That is how it works. And the Yankees' history isn't as littered with pitching. But, yeah, no, I mean, Phil Hughes, Ian Kennedy, Joba Chamberlain worth. If we did over the past 15 years of baseball, like 3 guys that came up together, they'd find their way on a leaderboard. I don't know where it lands, but
I like Joba.
It's cool.
Remember when he called during the live stream?
Sure do.
Next voicemail. Ooh, interesting one.
What's up, boys? This is Josh calling from good old Stephenville, Texas. And my player prospect, who I think could have been one of the greats, was Dustin Fowler. I was new into Yankees, and he was coming up, and I was super excited, and I remember seeing him get hurt, diving down the right field line, and seeing that look on his face, man, broke my heart. Go Yanks.
Where was this guy from?
The caller or Dustin?
What's up, boys? This is Josh
Texas.
Calling from good old Stephenville, Texas.
Pace of play here is unbelievable.
He built it up. That was beautiful. I saw your face losing it at his pace. That was he built it up. That was artwork.
I think he might have rolled over from a nap, called us, and rolled back asleep.
Things move a little differently in Stephenville.
Dustin Fowler hurt himself.
Yeah.
Sad when that happened. I don't know. I didn't have much hype. I think he was always going to be traded. By the time I knew his name, I knew he was going to be traded because of the Rule 5 ARB stuff or Rule 5 stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he got called up at 22 the one game and slides into the wall. Girardi comes out. He was supposed to lead off the next inning, get his first at bat, as sad as it gets. So it wouldn't have been Rule 5. I mean, he would have been.
Well, no, but he was.
They had a bunch of guys they were.
They had a bunch of guys they were going to have to trade.
Right.
They had to move 40-man guys one way or another.
Yeah.
No, it's I remember being crazy sad because of everything we've talked about with prospects. There's a lot of people in Yankees land that are like, oh, Joba Chamberlain, what could have been? And he still had a great career. Dustin Fowler, you enter the world of a lot of people in Yankees, are they going to make a sad movie about his life? Because, man, to touch that field and not getting at bat, that is as scary as it gets. Getting a weird, unique, not a normal baseball injury. I was in a bad spot. with that.
Did he win his suit?
Soup?
Didn't he sue?
Rings a bell.
He sued the stadium.
I don't know.
Because they had that.
I'd have to ask you.
They had that electrical box uncovered.
Yeah.
It's not Comiskey. What's it? Something rate field. What's Chicago?
Guaranteed rate. It might not. I don't know what it was called at the time.
Yeah. Ends up playing 69 games with Oakland in 2018. BBD, huge for you. Played 18 games for the Pirates last year. Didn't do very well. Yeah, I mean, Fowler, again, it kind of ties into that Yankees thing. To be a big-time Yankees hitting prospect, you kind of have to be a big-time prospect. And Fowler was never that. He got the call at 22, which that's pretty cool to be in the Yankees outfield at 22. And if you catch a little magic, who knows? But Yeah, instead went the sad route. I will say his profile picture on Baseball Reference has him with a nice little beard. So I'm glad he got to explore that later in his baseball career.
Part of the reason Shane Robinson is such a big part of our life, right? Is that the same season? Or no, that was 2017. 2017. They were calling everyone up in 2017.
Let the kids play.
Here's the biggest one of me.
Hey, boys, this is Chris Armstrong calling from Lima, Peru. The prospect that I was thinking about was Jesus Montero. The hype was like real for him. Maybe not Jason Dominguez type level, but he actually did become one of like the best prospects in baseball back in 2011. Then we traded him for Michael Pineda back in that 11-12 off season, I believe, and it all went downhill from there. Take care, guys. Love your show.
Peru.
Yeah, shout out.
Aren't we supposed to get a giant map where we pin where everyone's from?
What's up, Lima?
Isn't that an idea I had like 3 years
up.
ago? It's right here. We got space for it.
Let's get the map.
One that calls in.
Sam.
Map it out. This is the biggest one. I mean, this is the one that before the social media and the internet, like everyone in Yankees world, because they was talking about the broadcast, knew about Jesus Montero. And he was going to be the real deal. And he was going to replace Posada and blah, blah, blah. And it was amazing. And then he hits 2 Oppo home runs. And oh my God, his swing's built for the short porch. And then I trade him in the offseason. Everyone was like, what? I thought we were excited.
Yeah.
I thought we all agreed this guy was exciting. And now you look back, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Jesus Montero, 18 games with the Yankees when he gets called up. Casual, 328, 406, 996 OPS. Obviously, a small sample size, but dude was a top 10 prospect in baseball for 3 years. And yeah, Jimmy, I think this is something kind of comes from your camp, and I think I'll steal it to a degree. If you have a 21-year-old catcher who's been a huge prospect, comes up and hits at that level, you don't move on. You wouldn't trade him then.
No.
Even though, hey, and Big Mike Pineda does deserve some love here, and that was kind of the conversation. The Seattle Mariners, who have always had pretty good pitching, Big Mike goes out as a 22-year-old, starts 28 games to a 3.74 ERA. So, I mean, it was as big of radio fodder as there was. A big young pitcher for a big young catcher. Big Mike's still out there twirling it. I think he's a free agent. Did the Yankees sign him yet? He'll be back in pinstripes this year. But, yeah, I mean, that's one that if it happened nowadays, that would set off a red flag for me on both sides. So wait, you want to move on from your monster starting pitcher, and we're ready to move on from our top prospect catcher we waited on to come up for a bunch of years, and then he absolutely raked. So what's really going on here?
That was an odd one.
Doesn't pass... In hindsight, doesn't pass the sniff test.
But
at the time, you just say, oh, yeah, hitter for a pitcher.
At least Pineda had done, like...
Pineda's like that
been in the
Seattle
league.
year game log is awesome. July 4th, he made 17 starts, 2.58 ERA, made the All-Star team. Then the second half of the year slipped a little bit, but...
Yeah, I mean, he had 28 starts. It was a
years
much
old.
bigger sample size, but still...
They, the Mariners had been so thirsty for hitting for so long that, their pitching staff the next season, even their pitching staff the year before, it's a lot of names you know.
What do you think Pineda's record as a Yankee was? You had
Just
to guess.
clicked away from his page. Big Mike was how many years?
Four seasons. Do you want me to give you the amount of games, or do you just want to give me a percentage?
He won 63% of his games with the Yankees.
That's generous of you. I thought you would have guessed the opposite. 500. He went 31 and 31.
How about that?
Kind of like sums up he was either good or bad.
Yeah.
It was like, which Pineda are we getting today? It's Jekyll and Hyde. With a 4.16 ERA. So it's like, not awful, but not amazing. It's just right down the middle. 101 ERA plus with the Yankees.
Yeah. That usually plays into more wins with the Yankees because them boys hit.
I think if he had a bad game, it was a guaranteed loss.
Yeah.
Which was the problem.
It was big bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those years was 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, that's true. Tough years.
17 a good year. But
Yeah.
Hey guys, how you doing? My prospect that I had high hopes for was Miguel Andujar. I actually watched him down in Trent Thunder in 2016, and first caught sight of him. He got called up in that 2018 season, which is unbelievable. I thought he was going to be the next thing on the Yankees. He broke Joe DiMaggio's record of most doubles by a rookie, and that just has so much meaning to it. And then he just fell off a cliff. What the fuck happened? My guy can't field the ground ball. Crazy. But that 2018 season still pisses me off that he lost Rookie of the Year to Shohei Ohtani. But that 2018 season was unbelievable. Thanks, guys.
He definitely had a big fan base. Like Andujar had one of the biggest, whatever you want to call a hive or
He still does.
crowd. Well, it's dwindled. It was like they were
We're a little more underground now, but
they were rampant back in 2017 after he had those 2 games in Chicago. It was.
oh, that's right. When he was still young, that was
when he was
driving
a
you
pro-
nuts.
when he was a
Yeah,
prospect.
I remember that now.
It was the call up Andujar crowd was like, I don't know if we've seen a hive mind of Twitter that fierce and angry and loud.
No, what it
on a
was, I
single
think it was just
prospect.
perfect timing. I think Yankees Twitter was hitting another speed. I think Andujar's name is fun to say.
Yeah, call
Great
up
name.
Andujar has a fun ring to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
great name.
Andujar. Me and Joe saw his first home run together.
Maybe they were right.
Chase Headley times.
Maybe they were right. Yeah, Andujar, man. That's I mean, I was about to say there might be a Jesus Montero documentary someday because I know whenever we talk to any of the great Yankee minds and you end up on Jesus Montero, you get a look on their face that you don't really see from other people. Papa Do, Andujar, the helicopter. I don't know. I hope my good man gets a chance to hit somewhere in the next couple years because I do in my heart of hearts think he can hit a little bit.
I have something to say
But man, tough.
about Jesus Andujar, which is 2 names combined.
Yeah.
I like him. Wasn't that a reliever? Anyway, there's an Andujar reliever for the Reds or Cardinals, but I don't think his name was Jesus. Anyway,
It's Joaquin. Luis.
had a J. I'm all over it. All right. Montero, Jesus Montero. I'm going to change the light on Jesus Montero a little bit here.
Okay.
Just looking at the numbers. He's 22 years old,
Yeah.
and he starting catcher at 22 years old for Seattle.
He was DH'd a lot too.
Did he in that year?
Yeah.
That changes it significantly then. What I'm about to say. I almost have to can it.
Okay.
He DH'd more than he caught. I'm out.
Okay.
Oh, because if he was catching all of those games, 135 games, his numbers are good for a catcher. Like, especially right now, the way how bad catchers are.
As a rookie catcher.
As a rookie 22-year-old catcher, 94 OPS plus, 260 batting average. The power and the walks weren't there, but still, if he caught like 120 of those 135, I was going to be like, actually, but no, as
useful player.
DH.
Yeah, 78 games DHing, 56 games catching. And it's by far the most games he caught in a year at the major league level.
And then they chose to not.
I walk everything back.
It's all been walked back. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know if it's the lockout. I don't know if it's everything in between. I'm going to let myself get get hurt by Miguel Andujar one more time. Not necessarily as a Yankee, but just as a pro baseball player.
Okay, because depending on the moves they make, he might not be with the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, they kept him. They kept him. There's a lot of thoughts that he wasn't going to survive the 40-man roster stuff.
Yes,
start the year, and maybe they won't, depending whatever transactions come up for the Yankees. He could already be in a trade, headed somewhere else with Luke Voit. But yeah, I don't know, man. If they add a couple more DH spots and he can get a real opportunity, because didn't he actually hit at AAA one year? The Yankees just didn't have a spot for him. Partially because he doesn't play defense, which I don't want to pin that on the Yankees. Yeah, in 2021 in AAA.
Last year?
Yeah. It's a small sample size, but he had a
16
1 dot.
games.
Yeah.
Well, then he came up and he was like providing. I don't know.
He had a little streak where
weird
it was.
year.
You
called it. You said he was
slappy. Yeah, and he got on a little. I mean, the Yankees' offense was so dead; it was atrocious.
The biggest pain point is how much Glaber and Gio are now like hanging out. Because they had the Glaber and Andujar had the phone call thing.
Yeah.
They were playing video games in the offseason.
Yeah.
Gio takes his, but it gets tricky.
Know what it is?
And Andujar hates turtles.
I think there's a test, and maybe I'm. What was that? You got BBD to let one into the mic. Like, I think if you got the guys and isolated them, no mics, no cameras, no anything, and you were like Judgy, Gardy, Hicks, you go around, if you pulled these guys aside and you're like, is Andujar like is it real? Like, is the hitting real? I think they'd all be like, that dude can hit. So his baseball reference right now is kind of a wild all-timer. like an amazing 2018, 149 games, 855 OPS, second in Rookie of the Year, and everything else is missing, for lack of a better term. So we'll see. I'm going to let him hurt me one more time at a major league level, not necessarily with the Yanks.
Hurt me, Miggy, one more time. Sing it. You sing it.
My loneliness is killing me. Wrong.
Hey, it's Erica from New York. I think talking about Yankees prospects, it's important to mention Brien Taylor. The Yankees picked him in 1991 with their number one pick because they came in last in 1990. Taylor had so much potential. Everyone was describing him as a phenom. He's from North Carolina, lefty. He was at a bar with his brother. When he was in the minors, he was at a bar with his brother, tried to intervene in a fight, injured his shoulder. It was never the same. Heartbreaking.
Yeah, he was like a big one in the early 90s when they were trying to like get back, and Stick Michaels was doing his thing. I believe that was Stick Michaels' time. Huge bonus for Brien Taylor. Spells his name with an E, like my last name, just without the O, which always stands out to me. Also, all my nephew's middle name. One of 2 top picks to never reach the major leagues. So that's a bad trivia.
Yeah. Pretty nuts. The bar fight side of it is crazy when we're talking about documentaries or movies. Holy smokes. And yeah, it's funny looking at the which I often do, the 1991 draft class.
Yes, you're always looking at that.
Picks 1 through 9. There's only one guy that made an all-star team, Dimitri Young. There's really only 1 or 2 other guys you'd recognize. John Burke twirled it for a while. Picks 10 and 11. Sean Estes, Tyler Green. Manny Ramirez, pick 13. Anyways, yeah, I mean, at the time, a number 1 draft pick for the Yankees, lefty. I can't imagine if those events went down and what would be happening with Talkin Yanks, what would be happening at WFAN, what would be happening at Yes Network. It would be chaos.
He got in trouble again in 2012. was trying to watch video. I don't think I've ever seen like videos of him swinging around. I was reading his biography on Baseball Reference. They do a pretty good job, and usually they're right down the middle and just like very professional, like it. And then all of a sudden, it just says Taylor returned to A-ball in 1996 with the Greensboro Bats. He was toasted even worse. It's like, whoa,
It got worse.
got worse. I obviously was not alive for that, but I've heard the story a lot.
Looking at that Baseball Reference page of the draft, just his bonus compared to the other guys too. They
He
invested.
held out for a while, I believe.
Seems like it was worth it.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, got $1 million more than the number 2 pick.
Senior season of high school, struck out 203 hitters in 84 innings.
Where's he from?
I believe he's from
A cold state?
Carolina.
North
Ooh.
Carolina.
Okay.
I mean, that's more than 2 batters. Yikes. Like, there were people
What's
that
up, guys?
bragged.
My
Made
name is
content.
Alex, and in 2013, I lived in Philadelphia and used to drive up to Trenton to watch the Thunder. The 2 dudes who were on that team that I had real high hopes for were Mason Williams, didn't so much pan out, and a young guy who had only had about 7 games up there at the time that I saw him. He hit a game-winning 3-run homer the first game that I was there. He was a catcher named Gary Sanchez. Dude panned out pretty well. All right, love the show. Bye.
Be careful where you say that.
Yeah. I mean, Gary was definitely one. I mean, they were talking about Gary
Yeah.
when Posada left. It was like, we're not going to sign a long-term catcher because we're waiting for Gary. And then Gary had setbacks, so they got McCann for a couple years. And then once Gary came up, they traded McCann before his contract ran out. That's definitely one. Mason Williams, I never was a big one, but he was always like, he's going to play. I'm going through the list here and seeing Mason Williams reminded me of Melky. No one called in about Melky. That was one from, I think I was in high school, that I was excited about. And Melky first got called up. Do you remember that? And they were comparing him to Bernie Williams, and he was awful. Like his first couple games. And then I think it was it was a handful of games. But I think he made some errors as well. It was 6 games.
Yeah, he played 6 games in 2005, and it's a 421 OPS, 14 OPS plus. I mean, 6 games. Obviously.
Yeah, 4 hits, no extra base hits, and I believe he made some errors in the field or had some like other like lapses base. I don't forget what it was, and I was disappointed because I was excited about it as a fun name, and we needed a center fielder, needed some young energy, and he's a switch hitter, and he had a good arm. And then he came back up and he was good. Melky was definitely on my list. He was like one that I was excited about before he was a mainstay.
Name definitely helps. Melky. By the way, again,
No errors, so
change the scope of major league careers. Incredible. 2005 to 2019, just under 2,000 career hits. Melky. But we're kind of not talking about him. We're talking about Mason Williams and Gary Sanchez. Any outfielder with the last name Williams and pinstripes, I'm going to root for a little extra hard to kind of carry that juju on.
I saw Mason Williams lead off a game
It's pretty huge.
in 2017.
And?
It was like one of the bizarre lineups that Girardi threw out. Like I think it was like Mason Williams, Ref Snyder, Chris Carter.
And I mean, that's one of the, put that in a bucket of prospects in baseball. Like that 2017 Yankees team that, Cinderella story.
Sorry. Ref Snyder led off. Mason Williams batted 9th. He was double lead off.
Okay.
Ref Snyder,
Ref Snyder.
Judge, Holiday, Castro, Carter, Headley, Romine, Torreyes, Mason Williams.
Mason Williams did lead off a game later that year.
Yeah, I knew he did eventually.
The 2017 Yankees, a team that will sit up here, or I'll sit up here in front of the mics and say they basically should have been World Series champions, had Mason Williams and Rob Ref Snyder lead off games that year. as they were young baseball players with potential. Potential in baseball is a really weird thing.
Judge hit a 3-run homer after a Ref Snyder single.
If there was a team that could hit on prospects at a 25% clip, they would be the best organization in baseball by far.
Yeah. 25%?
25%.
I'd say like 15 would be amazing.
I think 15 would be an all-time.
How many prospects are in a system?
I guess
200?
it depends what we're labeling hit. Like,
Or like
1.5 of your top 10. Like, that would be 15% in a way.
Well, they have
Yeah,
like
if it's within the
400
top.
prospects, so you're just
Right.
going off your top 10. So,
Ish, yeah.
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 It depends your barrier for entry.
Uh,
You're both
what's
right.
prospect, you know.
Yeah.
Top 30.
Yeah, and I guess one does become prospect instead of just minor leaguer.
Yeah.
Some people lump them all in. They're optimistic.
Some people lump them all in.
Hey guys, how's it going? Ryan from Pittsburgh. Love all the content you guys put out every week. Actually met you last year at PNC Park on your tour.
Oh, hey.
To my point, two of the biggest prospects I was really amped up for were considered third basemen of the future for the franchise. Drew Henson and Eric Duncan. Ultimately, Drew Henson flopped and became a Bill Parcells whipping boy at QB for Dallas, and Duncan ultimately led to A-Rod joining the team. Anyways, great topic, and let me know what you guys think.
If I may, Tim.
Take it away. Take it away now.
Drew Henson,
Better than zero.
like we mentioned, goes on to pursue football. Doesn't fully click there either. Guy is regarded. I've listened to a couple podcasts on Drew Henson, and guys regarded as like this all-time athletic like freak, and he's viewed as unsuccessful in like baseball and football. So it's kind of where sports are like a sick world sometimes. And then Eric Duncan, yeah, I mean, third base. Remember the name. I
remember a card.
Okay.
Like a baseball card. Maybe I had a baseball card of Eric Duncan where he was like posed as I think he was like not even, it didn't say third baseman on there, so it was like an oddity. Someone remind me if I'm wrong. I believe there's like a weird Eric Duncan baseball card that I had or that people talk about.
Okay.
Isn't he a coach with assist in the Yankees now?
I'm not sure. He's 37 years old. So, again, put that in perspective.
No, I don't want to.
Like, he seems like a name from yesteryear, and there's guys in the league. How old's Nelson Cruz? Hitting dingers at like 40, 41. Respect old people. Take that, kids.
Just so many life lessons and
A
stuff.
lot of
like
life lessons for me.
Really introspective. Oh, here's a good one.
Hey guys, in terms of a prospect I really hoped panned out, unfortunately he did not pan out, but I remember just a few years ago when I was really getting into the mindset of I'm going to watch every Yankees game, I'm going to be all in on the prospect, all in on the team, hearing about Chance Adams as one of our top, I believe he might have been our top prospect at one point, and how he was going to be like the next ace of our rotation. It was going to be him and Sevy. Obviously, Sevy's worked out pretty well, injuries aside, and Chance Adams never did. Sad to say, but sometimes it happens, and it's kind of weird that the Yankees have trouble developing starting pitching like that. But thanks, guys. Go Yanks.
Chance Adams. This is tough because he's still young and still has like a career ahead of him or whatever. But I mean, I'm no professional scout. First time I saw Chance Adams actually pitch, it was like, this is the one?
Yeah.
And then it all kind of came together like, whoa, okay, the overhype machine was put into overdrive here on Chance Adams. Because it might be the flattest curveball I've seen thrown by a hyped up rookie pitcher.
I was all right with the curveball. My problem was everything else.
It's been one good curveball. And you'd wish it was that one the whole time.
2019, 94% curve spin. 87% fastball spin. Looks great. Chance, I've told the story on here many times. One of my first Yankee games in a while, little Jake had moved across the country, and they did a special on top prospect Chance Adams between innings. I said, hell yeah. Chance, kind of a fun name. Not great for a pitcher. Probably better for a hitter. Chance Adams.
Birth name, Chance.
And then, Chance Adams, I think, is probably a good symbol of, like, what plays in the minor leagues, but not the majors.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. His whole thing was just that year, the stats were amazing. But, like, nobody said, like, good stuff about his stuff.
Yes, that was kind of it. Like, the results were there. The Yankees didn't act like they were impressive. It was really just like in a couple games at AAA and then half the season AA and then half the season at AAA, I believe. But yeah, it's probably the best way to put it. People were like, he's getting the results. He wasn't. He was like hitting his spots, which was impressive.
It was back.
And then he pounded the zone in the majors, and it was like, well, you're pounding the zone with hittable stuff.
And it's kind of where we started this. It's how you measure prospects you look at their bodies, physique. You look at the numbers, what they can do, and then you look at what they do, and then they upgrade the ratings twice a year to who's performing and who's not. Chance Adams, his first 3 years in the minor leagues, he was just getting dudes out. He, out of college, 1.98 ERA in college. Good for you, Chance Adams. Dallas Baptist, shout out. 2015, 1.78 ERA, 35 innings. 2016, 2.33 and a $1.27 innings. And then 2017, that was kind of his magical it's happening year. 2.45 and 150 innings at AA and AAA. So he put up the body of work, but that body didn't work. Killed himself.
Chance Adams to Justice Sheffield to Davy Garcia. Yankees have a little line here of starters that are
easy on Davy.
Davey had one of like the worst years ever.
How old is Davy Garcia?
As young as Jesus Montero was.
At least Davey, they know like
younger.
a thing went wrong.
Hopefully they can correct it because they.
Like he changed his arm angle and
they took out his fastball. Blah, blah. There's like things that happened, so hopefully Davey can come back. The one thing about Davey is he had a live arm. He's only tossing 91, but the fastball had like some life to it.
Yeah, it'd get up to 94, 95. It's 22.
Okay, still time for Davey. Just saying, the Yankees starting pitching hype machine works extra hard.
Sure.
We've always talked Yankees like to hype up the starting pitching prospect that they're probably going to trade.
Yeah.
Starting
always
pitching.
been our conspiracy theory thing.
All 30 teams struggle to develop starting pitching.
Besides the Indians, Dodgers, those are the two. I think there's another team people like throw out there that I'm blanking on. But those two definitely in the recent years have done well developing pitchers. The Royals kind of like have good pitchers, and then once they trade them, then they become better. Same with the Pirates.
Young, good pitching.
Brewers can like add miles per hour. They like up the velo. All right. Wow. I did not think we were going to do this.
Say the best prospect that I was hoping to see pan out but didn't got to be Hoy Young Park. I got to see his only professional major league at bat with the Yankees, and I believe it was a fly out or some bullshit. But yeah, worth it for Clay Holmes, but would have been nice to see what nice lefty bat, infield, outfield could have provided for the Yanks. So, Hoy Park, love him. Go Yanks.
See, am I too cynical? Like, this guy didn't know. This guy, Hoy Park existed for 2 months in people's brains.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't like a
unless
thing.
you were a Yankees scout, you didn't really know who he was.
Or you lived in whatever city Hoy Park was playing.
I wanted to say that before. That's got to be an interesting relationship. Like, I've never lived in a minor league park where I regularly went to the games. And if I saw 20 games and I saw a guy who was good, I'd be like, yeah, that guy's going to be good. Because that's what I've seen on pro baseball fields. Doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I mean, Hoy Park, I think the most games he ever played was in Tampa. Like he moved around, and Charlotte. So maybe those people.
Charleston.
116 games in Charleston. That's what I meant by when I said Charlotte.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. There's not a lot to say here. He's still a player.
Go nuts in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they played him for a while,
Yeah.
and then they sent him down. Still developing, but that's not a real one.
Hey guys, Jimmy Jake, BBD. Hope you're doing well. This is Kevin from Parsippany, New Jersey. And the Yankees prospect that I had high hopes for and didn't work out was Eric Jagielo. Yankees took him in the first round, as you know, took him before Judge. I took Judge in the compensation round right after. Power hitting athletic third baseman. Would have been cool if he worked out for the Yanks. Could have hit some bombs in the Bronx, but just never ended up working out. They ended up flipping him to the Reds in the Chapman deal, and from there he didn't really do anything. So kind of a bummer. Would have been cool, but yeah, that's my guy. Thanks, guys. You're killing it, and Jake sucks.
That's how you pronounce that last name?
I always thought it was Jagielo.
You're just so damn Italian.
Yeah.
Jagielo.
I guess I wanted it to be Jagielo.
Jagielo.
It looks like my Yankee name right now in this outfit.
I don't know much about him. I know the name, but at that point I wasn't. I really only started following prospects when I started doing Talkin' Yanks, like deeper than this guy's 2 months away from being called up. That was when I tuned in.
This goes for Duncan before him and Jagielo.
Baseball Reference says Jagielo, yeah.
Bat lefty, throw righty, which I think that just adds to a prospect's sex appeal, especially at third base. It's like the Eric Chavez type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Baseball's fucked. This guy was a first-round pick. Raked at Notre Dame. First-round pick by the Yankees. Spent 6 seasons playing minor league ball. Hit at low A. Hit at high A. Didn't really hit at double A or triple A. And that's it.
Tough sport. Jagielo. You know how to say his name now, though.
What's going on, guys? This is Will from Warwick, New York. The one prospect that I had such high hopes for that kind of panned out but really didn't is Clint Frazier. Jesus, when that dude came up with his long-ass ginger hair, man, I bought a jersey immediately. I thought this dude was the next superstar. But then this man had so many what-ifs. I wish we saw that 2019-2020 Clint a little bit more, but then he decided to get some vertigo. And then he decided to be kind of an asshole to the fan base, but the fans were more of an asshole to him anyways. But I wish that dude panned out for us. All right, guys. Thank you. And pull up to Cancun in Sugarloaf, New York for some free Mexican food. On me.
Where is that?
Sugarloaf? Is that what he said? Is that what the food he's offering or the place? Sugarloaf, New York. Where do we got to go?
I'm ready.
All right, hold on. Let's figure out where we're going.
I love Mexican food.
That dude panned out for us. All right, guys. Thank you. And pull up to Cancun in Sugarloaf, New York.
Cancun Inn, Sugarloaf.
Cancun Inn. Sounds like a little weekend getaway.
It's actually in Chester, New York.
Okay, so we got a liar.
Oh, the King's Highway.
How far away is this?
This is the King's Highway.
I'd love to get up there.
That's a very benign scene from the movie The Patriot that I love quoting. Hour 15.
Okay.
Food's good enough. We'll be there.
Okay.
This is the King's Highway.
My address.
Clint. That's what he called about.
Hour 15.
Cub. Clint Frazier.
Chicago Cub currently slated in to be their DH, I think. Yeah, man. I mean, there's a whole injury side of it that's weird. There's a whole personality side of it's weird. The electric moments were electric. The bad moments were as bad as it gets. There's a lot of guys that have electric moments. There's not a lot of guys whose bad moments get as bad as it gets.
Yeah.
Nice photo shoot in Scranton.
He made Tanaka mad, so, you know.
There's lines.
If you make Tanaka mad, I'm mad.
Yeah.
I am like his emotions via proxy. You know?
Hit 30 in Wrigley this year, Clint.
Would you bet on that?
Sure would. But I would go to DraftKings,
Mm.
and I'd say, you know what? Chicago Cubs, I've got a friend on that team. His name rhymes with Shmi and Schmap.
I'm going to try and figure out who that is.
I'll let Jimmy try to figure out who that is. If you guys want, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook. Conference Championship Week is here. Hello? I know our friend Big Evan. He just texted me, said he bet Pitt +2. That game's already happening. Can't bet that. And I don't, okay. Shared his bet. Conference championships are rolling all week. That leads into the NCAA tournament. It's the perfect time to get on DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can bet $5 on any team to win and get $200 in free bets. People, there's going to be like 1 versus 12 seed games. You just need the winner, and you get $200. Dollars.
You just pulled a
not
trick
the
on the
doll
people.
hairs. Oh, well, BBD will send you doll hairs. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOHNBOY. Bet $5 on any college hoops team to win and get $200 in free bets. If they win, you win with promo code JOHNBOY. This week at DraftKings Sportsbook, 21 plus restrictions apply. See the show notes for details.
Someone in the chat, Buzzed Lightyear, said, "What's the Tanaka Clint story?" I mean, if no one, he just dropped the balls. The Red Sox game, Sunday night baseball. And then the game before that, he had dropped some balls for Tanaka. And then also, I'm a big Chad Green fan. And then that game in Houston, that season before that, he dropped those balls in left field and ruined Chad's day when Chad was getting back on track after his rough outing. So, you make Chad and Tanaka two kind of like even keel emotionless people. Like Chad sees a ghost all the time. Tanaka could be high emotions. Happy
or mad at himself. That's it.
Tanaka.
Yeah.
Very rarely frustrated with a teammate.
Right.
The only time I've ever seen it is then.
It's not permissible.
Because Tanaka did kind of show him up because he looked out at Clint and then he looked at the dugout to Boone and was like, "Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like this, you're really going to keep playing him behind me when he can't catch fly balls?" Because he dropped the two. And
I need people that catch fly balls.
So you do that to Tanaka.
Yeah.
I am his emotions.
I am his emotions.
Dude, I miss Tanaka.
Yeah.
I think last year that with CeCe and Tanaka gone, a part of my heartstrings were cut and not like I didn't have anywhere else to tie them to. As like that fandom. Obviously you cheer for whoever's in the uniform and you want to win and stuff like that, but Cole's still there. Like we're not like fully like I love Cole and he's dominant, but we're not like, hey, I'm like a fanboy of you. Whatever, that emotional attachment isn't there yet. Kluber never had it. King, I could get it. Nestor, now he kind of got a string towards the end of the season. Like he was like, fuck yeah, I am proud to be a Nestor fan. But with CeCe and Tanaka gone, I think that kind of like I had no one to attach my heartstrings to. It makes me sad.
I know what the problem is. They never hit last year. Like wasn't an option.
It's also like I know.
Hopefully we win today 3-2.
It's also I know it's conspiracy theory or whatever.
Sure.
But the fact that I think the under hit in like every home game for the Yankees.
Unless we were there. Every time we went, the over hit, if you remember that.
Really?
Certainly every time we went, you guys picked the over. And I think it was a decent rate.
Rar.
Oh, we chose it all the time. I forgot that. The under hit 56% of the time for when the Yankees were the home team. But the whole like the balls, the shipment of balls that went to the Yankees game were the dead balls.
Right.
It's like people wrote about it when that came out. There was people saying that like if you look at the average flight and all the data, blah blah. There's a whole article on it that I think was one of those like half reputable places, like a Yankees blog, but not like us, like people that do data, like what's it, scenes from 340, whatever it is.
Pot people.
And if that was true, like that changes DJ's season
A little bit.
like that. So
Not
yeah,
worried about
if the
DJ.
offense would have hit, maybe I would have had more fun. You're worried about DJ?
Not worried about DJ.
Me neither. Let's just get the balls figured out.
And get him healthy.
Only 4 teams hit the under more at home. Colorado.
My rocks.
They always set it high because
Sure.
sucker bets. St. Louis. The Mets, same shipment of balls, just the New
Yeah,
York shipment.
New York shipment.
And Detroit.
What was that?
Detroit. Details at 8. I'm a news reporter now.
See that?
Yeah. There's one more voicemail. You want to listen to it?
Sure.
I got disconnected from the board. What the hell's going on out there?
Heck.
Hey, Talkin Yanks. My prospect that I'm high on is Elijah Dunham. The dude is an absolute unit, seems to have a great attitude and works hard, and he is also from the hometown of one Donald Arthur Mattingly, Evansville, Indiana. Let's go, baby. Elijah Dunham coming to the Bronx in a year or two. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's a good day for a good day, Kemosabe's. Let's go. Elijah Dunham in the house. Later.
God damn, it's a great voicemail to end it on. I mean, I like our dude from Stevensville, Texas, but 2 different energies coming through. Who's Elijah Dunham?
He's a prospect in the system now. He's 23. He I do think in the newest rankings he like climbed into the top 10. But yeah, he's it's a great voicemail.
Biblical name, dude. Elijah Zachariah Dunham.
Yeah, I mean, he might have the big man upstairs on his side, which would be a huge advantage.
Left fielder and first baseman, which translates to hitter.
Yeah, he's here to hit. He's hit pretty well in the minors. I don't know, man. He
hasn't hit Double-A yet.
No, he turns 24 this year, so I think we're gonna find out soon on Elijah Dunham.
Is this his brother that called?
That was.
Hey, Talkin Yanks. My prospect that I'm high on is Elijah Dunham. The dude is an absolute unit, seems to have a great attitude and works hard, and he is also from the hometown of one Donald Arthur Mattingly.
6 foot, 213 pounds. So when I think absolute unit, those aren't the measurements.
I mean, maybe it's all muscle.
Evansville, Indiana. Let's go, baby. Elijah Dunham coming to the Bronx town of one Donald Arthur Mattingly, Evansville, Indiana. Let's go, baby. Elijah Dunham coming to the Bronx in a year or two. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's a good day for a good day, Kemosabe's. Let's go. Elijah Dunham in the house. Later.
That's beautiful. Hey, if Elijah Dunham gets called up, can you like put a note in the records to like make sure we have this voicemail like on the ready for whenever he makes his debut? And that's his brother calling,
Can
right?
I say this?
I mean, that has to be his brother.
No, I would poo-poo this more. I would. But the same hometown as Donnie Baseball. I mean, obviously. If there was nothing, if he was just a unit who was doing things in the minor leagues.
Oh, dude, he signed with He was a non-drafted free agent because the 2020 draft was only 5 rounds.
How about that?
So I'm rooting for him big time.
So
now.
he got screwed. He's part of the
Yeah.
screwed generation. Okay.
Yeah.
We're all Elijah Dunham fans.
Oh.
I wonder where he's starting next year. If he's starting in Hudson or Dubs.
All the I'm reading
we
it.
ask
I'm
him?
reading. Yeah. Who are you asking?
Elijah Dunham.
Call. You have his number?
I asked K-Mac.
Yeah, call K-Mac and ask him. Tell him we're live before you let him talk.
You need to say those words quick.
Very sexual man, K-Mac.
He said he was upset. Everyone told him he was going to go earlier in the draft. He said every team told him, hey, if we had a pick in the 6th, we were taking you.
40th round pick in 19.
He said, I have pop, but that's not my end goal. This wave of only home runs and also a lot of strikeouts. I mean, I like home runs. Don't get me wrong when I say that. But at the same time, making consistent contact and getting on base is my ultimate goal. That's what I strive to be. Okay, I like that. All right. He said, I've gotten so much better defensively thanks to the Yankees. Before, I was just going to make the routine plays, and that was it. I was playing first at IU, and now I'm in the outfield. I'll go make a play here and there, too. I'm not saying I'm like a gold glove guy, but at the same time, I'm definitely going to steal a hit or two once in a while. Wow, the end of the interview, the interviewee or interviewer just says, any final thoughts? This is an open-ended question. His final thoughts in this interview, and this is Fangraph's article, his final thoughts were, if you were to ask me what I bring to the game, so kind of saying like, why didn't you ask me this?
Yeah.
I'd say it's my competitiveness. I try not to give away any at-bats. That's something I take pride in. I bring the same fire every single day. So, I mean, this might have been him that called in.
Tried calling K-Mac. Was in Blitzball, the Blitzball battle with us. Their game was last night. Go check that out. I called him, and it went to a dial tone that I haven't heard since calling house phones in like 2002.
We were
texting last night, so I'm worried about that.
This guy's calling me out because I say 20 with CH, which I do. And this has been brought to my attention by a lot of commenters. I say like Twitter wrong and 20, but he's saying it's pronounced Ta-Wenti, which is wrong. It says it's pronounced Ta-Wenti, which is, it can't be that. I do say it with a CH.
There's a T in there. I hear the T.
20.
I don't care when people do that at all.
You're trying to bossy?
I don't know. He should be like working right now, right?
He's also his coach.
He would also like probably actually know where he's going to start.
Yeah, like he might have actual inside info. I just posted a bossy highlight reel. So
He has to be like working right now, right?
I don't know. It's
Maybe.
the afternoon.
Ooh, mean text from Jess.
What'd she say?
Sign the lease, you dodo.
That is mean.
It's an extinct bird, you know?
So are you.
A little bit. They don't make them like they used to. Okay, we're getting an actual phone ring instead of
what K-Mac was doing.
Dial tone. I'll leave him a voicemail. Seems like one of the few people that would still enjoy a good voicemail.
Oh, he's gonna be fired up about it.
Hey, boss man, what's going on, bossy? How you doing? We're recording Talkin' Yanks. We're live right now. You can't talk. This is a voicemail. Someone called in about Elijah Dunham. I just want to get the scouting report. They said he's an absolute unit. We're seeing 6 foot 213. So is he roped up or what's the deal? All right, bossy. Love you. Bye. So we'll have an update.
I gotta be honest, that's a great voicemail, man.
Next Talkin' Yanks. Thank you.
Some people, you did like pause for him to respond at one point, which
right,
but you played it cool after that. I used to call my hockey coach and leave voicemails, and man, would I just flunk the dunk on those. Like, hey, coach, I can't be late for practice, and then I'd be like, fuck.
We
dude.
exchanged some audio messages this weekend. We were both tough with them, you know.
Yeah. I was going to play it, but I think we were doing, it's confidential.
Confidential information. So
yeah, I can't play it. I was leaving voice memos for Jake in a very scared tone. And then said, sorry, I'm really bad at voice memos. It was basically like the have you ever had a dream kid? Voice memos are cool.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's the end of everything.
Huge interview.
Guy we've had on before.
Biggest interview.
It's a repeat.
We're just playing the same interview.
One of the tallest people we've interviewed.
We're doing reruns. Lockout.
Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.